Now, one of the challenging things is pricing out the applications. I feel like I've heard a million different ways to do this. Um, the probably the most old school way to do it is, hey, we can just count how many trees and shrubs you have, and we have a standard price for the shrubs, standard price for the trees, everything under 25 feet, because that's what you're going to be able to spray, and that's what, we have to physically go out there and do the estimate. If you don't want to physically go out there and do the estimate, you can do something like block pricing, where you price out generically what each property is going to be within a neighborhood. You can do a point system that's based on plant sizes and types. You can do satellite mapping. The satellite's interesting because we started doing pricing based off of lot sizes, because we had such a huge customer base at that time that we found out that we could get into certain averages. And because we were protected by the profit margin of tree and shrub, it was very hard for us to lose money on these applications. So we would take a 1/4 acre, 1/2 acre, 3/4 acre, and 1 acre lots, and we would have a tree and shrub price based on where they fell in for their lawn size or their lot size. And we very seldom ever had to adjust a price. So we were happy that we got density. That increased profitability, and the profitability on the tree and shrub program was already good. You can see an example here of using a point system. So you can base it off of trees, you can base it off of shrubs, but if you just base it off of a certain point system for each one, and then include the sizes, then you can get to, all right, well, this many points are worth this many dollars. I think it's a complicated way to go. If I was going to do it, I would base it off of lot size, because you can get that off the internet. You can, whether that is, measuremylotsize.com or one of the other ones, you can go on very easily and measure the lot size. You could even just go into measuring the landscape. It's a little bit more cumbersome and time consuming, but you'll find that you get to fall into certain averages where you're completely content just streamlining the process and making it so that, hey, we can give you a price. I know that you're going to be happy with it. We're going to be happy with it. We're going to be profitable doing these services, and we're not going to have to worry about anything. So I would keep the pricing as simple as possible, rather than complicating it because you're worried about what the profit margin is going to be. It's just not one of those things that, it depends on your scale too. If you're trying to do 10 customers, yeah, sure, you may want to worry about having very detailed pricing. But if you're going to do hundreds or thousands of customers, because the rest of your business will generate that amount of customers for you, then I would say just streamline the process and make it easy. So how to market it to your current customers. We did both inbound and outbound marketing. I always say that if you're gonna get into something, figure out your threshold based on your production, because you don't want a truck and a half going out there. You want to make sure, or a half of a truck, which would be even worse. And what I mean by that is, if we go back in these slides, there was a point that I kind of glossed over. The first point on this says, a tree and shrub plant healthcare truck should be doing $800 to $1,600 a day. Well, if you figure out what your average customer is going to be worth, and say that they're worth $100 a treatment. Well, if I'm going to do 6 weeks worth of treatment, and I have to do at minimum, well, let's just say we want to do 10 customers a day. That's 50 a week. Over 6 weeks, that's 300 customers. I don't want to be under 300 customers. So when I go back to how I'm doing my marketing, I'm trying to do it in 300 customer increments so that I have at least a full truck. Obviously, if you have a small geography, you can build up density very fast, and you're going to be able to do much more than 300 customers. I think that as we got established in our market with tree and shrub applications, we were doing 500 to 550 customers per truck, per round. So keep that in mind. You don't want to just blindly market to get customers. You want to go for a specific number that is going to make sense on the production side, which is going to protect your profitability, so that you don't have guys sitting around wondering what's next or doing inefficient routes because they just don't have enough to fill it in, and it's all filled in with drive time.